Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Apex East Series Showdown here on the V-Speed Racing Network. I'm Eddie Smith, and tonight we're hitting the paperclip, the short track of all short tracks here at Martinsville Speedway, and it is going to be a great show for sure here tonight. I want to thank Apex Sim Racing Custom Gear, apexsimracing.com. Go check them out. Well, we are a few races into this season, and man, what a way to continue the trend here at Martinsville. 20 to 21 drivers here tonight, it looks like, and we're going to throw them on a little paperclip in the trucks. They're loose. They've been sliding all over the place, so we expect to see probably some fireworks going off, a little bumping and banging. Difficult trucks to control, but I think we'll see some good racing, and we'll see who comes away with the victory. Is it going to be somebody new? Is it going to be somebody like Jonathan Cofield, who's got 2 wins on the season already? Or we get a new winner? We'll find out. Let's take a look at your point standings right now. And Cofield's got a commanding lead. Of course, we do have the playoffs to reset, but Cofield has just been unbelievable this season. Head and shoulders above others. 53-point gap between him and the next driver. Those stage points make all the difference in the world. If you're not getting those, you're not maximizing the points that you can get each day in the stage awards, the top 10. So Cofield has been doing a great job. He's got those 2 wins. But you can see Daniel Holcroft's got a win back there in 13th. He'll be locked in the playoff. Costic, Garrett Kinder, both with wins. So we've got a good opportunity for somebody to get a win here tonight. I think Kip Easley can easily get it done. And there's quite a few folks back here that can make it happen here on a short track. Aaron Adcock, been waiting on him to get in victory lane. Brandon Wallace, Alan Nash, a lot of those guys around here, Tracy Passons, all those with zeros on the left and right side, they all have opportunity to get a win here tonight. And Martinsville can be a tough one. Track position, you want to be out front, you really do. Just the way these things will drive, if you can get out front, you can stay out there, keep that track position. It's going to be hard to pass at some point. We'll see if that outside line, really not outside, just a lane up, has any teeth. But we'll find all that out, but it's still going to be difficult to pass and make those moves work. Take a look at the track a little bit here. Go ahead and jump over here. Was already into qualifying, but 150 laps here tonight, and you look at the track temp, 80 degrees, so it's pretty gripped up. We'll see. It won't be 130 degrees like we've seen some tracks where it'll be super slick. Should have plenty of grip. It's really in the driver's hands at that point to just make sure, hey, they get out there and get the power down. And you can see the shape of this track, just a big, two long straightaways and, long corners that it's a deceiving. Yeah, it's a short half-mile track, but you got to let the truck roll all the way around those corners, and you want to be on the gas as the truck gets straight, not in the middle of the corner, so it's a little bit different, but it's going to be a good one. Qualifying is underway, and we'll see if we can't get up there and let's do a little bit of qualifying action, see what these guys are dealing with, and see what it's like out there as they go to put down qualifying laps here. Let's go on board with Aaron Adcock, as a lot of folks have put down times already. We'll pull that up. Kinder right now on top of the board. On board with Aaron as he's going to put down his first time lap here. Right down to the bottom. Try to get as much speed as you can. You want to roll the corner, but you don't want to be full throttle until that wheel is all the way straight. Comes across the line. That's going to be good enough for about third. Pretty good little time. He's got one more lap, and all that grip is gone, so he will call it quits there. Logovitz now on the track on his out lap. We'll see if he can. It seems like that first lap is probably going to be the grippiest. We'll see. So Josh Logovitz going down into 3 and 4 to complete his first lap. Actually kind of slid. Looked like he slid 4 tires going into the corner. You can see how slick that concrete can be, especially under braking. He's going to cross the line. Not quite where he wants to be just yet, 12th. We'll see if he can improve upon that. But it's, yeah, same issue that Aaron had. It just gets loose there as the tires start to heat up. Alan Nash out on track now. He is due for a win for sure. He is a extremely fast driver. We'll see what he can do on a short track. I know what he can do at 1.5 miles. We'll see if he can lay down a banger of a lap here and get, no, he entered in a little bit high there. Goes his first lap up to a 19.3, so that's going to be good enough for, looks like, to be 5th place at the moment. He's trying a little bit different approach where he kind of slides up in the middle and dives up off the corner. We'll see if he can improve upon it. And just barely, almost the same dang lap he ran right there. Chris McLean comes across for his lap. He's going to be good enough for, looks like, 13th. And same issue as Jesse Whittington, goes straight up to the top of the 19.198, the only driver in the ones. Charles Stevens now out on track. He's going to go put down a lap time. I expect to see Charles. I watched him in practice. It seemed like he was really trying to find the limit on entry to get that truck woed up, and you're going to see that out of a lot of folks tonight, trying to make it up all on entry. I think exit is where you want to be strong. You want to be able to get the power down. We've seen folks already get loose off these corners, trying to push the gas a little bit too soon, but Charles Stevens across the line, that's going to be good enough for 4th position there as he finishes up his first lap. We'll see if he can improve upon that here on the second one. Coming off a turn 4. Does he improve upon it? And he does. He jumps over Daniel Holcroft and for a 3rd place starting position. So way to go, Charles. I told you he's been trying to find those limits. He should be fast here tonight. Now we're on board with Daniel Cunningham as he is on his first lap, right around the bottom. See, he doesn't even go all the way out to the wall. Wow, what a fast lap. 2nd on the board is going to be Daniel Cunningham. And you can see that first lap was not, he wasn't pushing the truck, wasn't all over the place, just being smooth. That's how you be fast here. And he was off by just 2 1/1000ths of a second. This lap doesn't look like it's going to be as fast, but we'll see right here. It's across the line just a little bit slower. Cofield getting up to speed, your points leader. Exited turn 4, coming to his out lap high on the track. We'll see what he can do here as he comes off of turn 2, comes off straight just like you want to do. Not giving up any speed, making sure those tires stay connected on the rear through 3 and 4. Truck looks fast right through the middle of the corner, and it looks good. Across the stripe for his lap, and we'll see if he's able to improve. 19.244. That's good enough for 5th. One more lap. We'll see if he can gain a little bit. It's really close at the top as he crosses the line. It's going to be just a little bit slower. So 5th place. Next up is going to be Michael Kostick in the 4. I expect to see him qualify up on the front row. I don't know. I got a feeling. Here we go. First lap. He's up to 5th. Let's see if he can improve on that. Bumps his teammate down to 6th. Good looking lap here. We'll see as he crosses the start-finish line. Does he improve? Actually, a little bit slower. So Michael Kostick will take that 5th position. And Lucas Lyon's going to be the last driver to make his time. He's got 1 lap already. He's in 7th. He's got 1 more to go. He may have made contact with the wall there. I'm not sure. Comes across the line to see if he can improve. And he does just a little bit, but not enough to really change anything. So he will hang on to that 7th position. And that'll be it for qualifying with just over 1.5 minutes left to go. As we get ready to, man, I'm excited to see how this goes. Last season was a tough one. It was, there were a lot of cautions, a lot of issues getting down into the corner. Just overall a pretty tough race. So hopefully this season we'll see it turn out a little bit better this time. Well, let's take a look at your grid. Everything is final now. We got about 1 minute before it's over, but no, everybody has put down their laps, so nobody can go back up there. So we'll go ahead and go through our grid. And And Low Cash Motorsports starting grid. And the Peg Leg Pole Award is going to go to Jesse Whittington in the 94, able to hold off a really nice lap from Daniel Cunningham and grab that award. So congratulations to Jesse. Daniel Cunningham going to be outside the front row. Row number 2 is going to be Garrett Kinder with Charles Stevens in the 4th position. 5th going to be Michael Kostick, Jonathan Cofield in 6th. 7th, Lucas Lyons, Daniel Holcroft in 8th. Aaron Adcock going to roll off 9th with his teammate Tracy Bassins in 10th. 11th, Alan Nash with Johnny Cofield in 12th. 13th, Tyler Gibbon, Brandon Wallace in 14th. 15th, Matt Rogers, Alan Smith in 16th. 17th, Kip Easley, and Chris McLean in the 18th position. 19th, Chuck Peg Leg Feltz and Josh Lokovitz in 20th. And then round out your field is going to be Anthony Edgerton in that 21st position. Well, Martinsville, man, just such a legendary track. I mean, look at it right there and just see it's you don't see these tracks like this. It's very unique in its short track because it's shaped like a paperclip. It's got those long corners and those long straightaways, and it's just an interesting, track. A lot of tracks have short straightaways go right in the corner. A lot of it's just corner. A lot of quarter miles. And Martinsville, just exciting. It's been that way forever. The bottom line's where you want to be. Makes guys have to use the bumper every now and again to get it rolling and try to get some track position. Takes a lot of skill. All right, well, everybody getting ready to get moving here, and this season has been pretty incredible. As Apex is always a really fun. I mean, I've said it so many times. Honestly, it just feels like a family here at Apex. Everybody that races here, everybody gets along. Usually, folks that don't get along, don't really mesh. They don't last long, and but a lot of guys come and go, and you won't see them for a while, and then they show back up, and it's a lot like your family. So, really enjoy racing here and being a part of this series as long as I have. Take a look at our driver cam, see where everybody's got going on tonight. Charles Stevens, his cam is currently off. He must be doing something off camera. We got Brandon Wallace, Daniel Holcroft, Aaron Adcock, Chuck Feltz, Charles Stevens, and Kip Easley on cam tonight, so we appreciate them putting those webcams out there so we can see them as everybody's still gridding up, and finally the field starts moving as we get ready to go green. While we're waiting, we'll take a look at your race analysis here tonight. 150 laps, pit road speed of 35 miles an hour. They have 4 sets, 1 on the truck, 3 in the pits, 3 green, white checker to tip, 75% fuel load, which I think might contribute to a little bit of tight feeling in the middle of the corner. So we'll pay attention to that, how much that affects it. 1 fast repair if you need it, and I imagine that we're going to see a few of those. And that stage break at lap 40, the top 10 will score points. Go around one more time. What do I expect tonight? I don't really know. You never know with Martinsville. Martinsville, historically, not a great track for iRacing. And I like to say that it's because iRacing at low speeds, and these guys will be going around these corners at very slow, 40, 50 miles an hour. iRacing's tire model just doesn't love slow speeds like that, and the grip just feels so off. It feels like you don't have any, and it makes these trucks feel very, very slick. So we'll see how that plays out tonight. Hopefully we get some good racing in, but I think it's going to take a little bit for these guys to get used to it. But Jesse Whittington going to lead us down to the green flag. His first race, I think, this season into the Geico restart zone. Barney got the flag in his hands, and green flag is out here at Martinsville. Well, first lap in the book, Jesse Whittington's going to take the lead Daniel Cunningham going to fall back to third as Garrett Kinder was able to get that inside track and get that second position. And now he's looking very quickly to try to take over the lead from the 94. As we got some people going backwards, it looks like Chuck Felt's sitting backwards on the track. And so our first driver with issues here tonight, and Chuck is sitting backwards on the track. He's trying to get that thing going, get it into gear, going to back it into the backside. Oh my goodness, as the leader is coming by, he's trying to get back going, but that you see just how difficult it is, how tight this track is, and he was trying to get the thing going. He's Austin Powers in that truck and couldn't get it going, but finally gets that thing back rolling. Let's go back and see what happened to Chuck here on the Kinder Farm Ranch wreckage rewind. Oh, there was already wrecks going on. The 97 of Johnny Cofield's where that went around. And I think Chuck just got on the brakes a little bit too quickly, trying to slow up for it. Johnny Cofield here in the 97. Oh, hops the curb. And you'll be seeing a lot of that. Hops the curb hard into the outside wall, and the guys just come kind of slowly creeping in, and Chuck just spins out trying to avoid it. Got that brake bias down a little bit too low. Go on board with the number 5 here, Chris McLean, having to start in the back. He got caught up in it on the outside, just with nowhere to go. He was right behind Chuck Feltz here. And you can see that curb is pretty, oh man, Chuck really checks up there, trying to avoid it, and Chris would really know where to go. And you'll see that a lot tonight if you're not careful. That curb is pretty, it sits up pretty high, and you'll see, you're like, look right here on Jesse Whittington, look down on there, and that's a very pronounced curb, and you want to get right up where it meets the concrete there, but you don't want to get on it. And you can see why. It upsets the truck, makes it very loose, and upsets the balance quickly. And you can see it's a great view of it right there. You can just see how much it sticks up, and you really don't want to get on that. Later down in the run, you might stick the left side of the tires on there to help it turn a little bit if it does get tight, but especially early when the car is gripped up. And honestly, the track at the moment, 77 degrees, there's going to be all kinds of grip out there. That can really make it a little bit nervous. So Johnny Cofield kind of gets that figured out here. Good time to learn it here on lap 5. And you go, well, I probably don't want to do that. Well, we are doubled up, getting ready to go back green here in just a moment. Still have likely we'll get the 1 to go here. And then we'll get this thing back green. And we do. So we are racing to... racing to lap 40, so it's not gonna be long before this stage gets here, especially if we end up under caution for a while. So if you're outside that top 10 and you have any aspirations of a deep playoff run, you're gonna need those playoff points. So we'll see if they can get up there and get with it. Into the Geico restart zone. Green flag is out. Jesse Whittington with a great restart. Now Daniel Cunningham is going to be there on the inside of Garrett Kinder. Little flip-flop position. You're going to see that a lot. A lot of times in short track racing, you almost want to give up a spot. If you hear a caution, to give the spot up. That way you get a preferred line. And right now you can see the bottom being that preferred line. You want to be there on the bottom. We'll see if the top ever does come in. Usually at Martinsville, it's very difficult to make that outside work after about 5 to 10 laps of green flag racing. Bottom is where you want to be. As, man, Garrett Kinder says, excuse me, I think I'll take that low line pleaser, and jumps in front of Charles Stevens. Charles tried to give him a little bit of bumper, but it's way too early for that, I think. I think you got to just let him get into position and kind of roll on here. But see a battle for position back there. Jonathan Cofield takes over 7th position from Alan Nash, but all single file at the moment. And I think where Martinsville really grabs you and kind of messes you up is the fact that you got to have so much patience. It takes so much patience to make passes here, to make the move. Oh, my goodness, Garrett Kinder gets a little bit loose there off the corner. He's going to drop back, lose a couple spots, but patience is where... Oh, as they go around, Alan Nash, the 27 and the 12 make contact. And sitting up against the wall backwards. But like I was saying, patience is going to be a virtue. You've got to take your time, make those passes when the opportunities present themselves. Well, let's go look and see what happened to these two drivers. Oh, looks like the 12 bounces over the curb and then jumps up into the 27. Go look on board with the 12 here. On board with Tyler Gibbon here. Yeah, exactly. I mean, right at the same moment I'm talking about patience, you see a little bit of impatience there. I don't think he got any help from behind. We'll see. We'll look and see if Tracy Passes gets into the back of him. I don't think he does. We'll watch on board with Tracy and see. But it looks like Tyler thought there might have been a gap there that he could shoot through. Yeah, I mean, Tyler just being a little bit too aggressive there, I will say. Trying to fill a gap that really wasn't there quite yet. So back under second caution of the night here on lap 15. And so far, it looks like we are not going to make any improvements over last season. And we're going to go right into the, I don't know, probably 20 or so cautions that we had. And it's just, it's tough, man. It's tough to make these guys realize that you have to be calm. You have to say, okay, you know, I don't have to take every opportunity that I see. I mean, that opportunity there, not picking on Tyler, but that's something we're going to see all night likely is you can't pass somebody real quickly like you can at some tracks. It takes a little bit of time, and guys get impatient, and they see an opportunity, and they jump for it, but it's really not there. So caution number 2. Kinder Farm and Ranch going to get a lot of love here tonight. Yeah, likely you won't see too many pit stops. That's another thing about Martinsville that kind of, you know, makes it interesting is that you could stay out on tires for quite a while. The tire wear doesn't really come into play until about, I would say, probably 70, 80 laps, I think, is really where I would even consider coming in and giving up that track position because the tires won't make big enough difference for you to be able to make that time up of time, you know, lost on pit road. So I think we'll see very little pit stops being made here tonight. I think we'll see one at max, even with cautions. I'd be real surprised if anybody comes down and takes tires. But getting ready to go green. Jesse Whittington will have control of the restart. And Charles Stevens now in that third position. We'll see if he can fire off. He gets right to the back bumper. Gives the 94 a little shove. And here comes Charles Stevens down to the inside. And now he's going to take over the second position as that outside early on continues to suffer here. And Matt Rogers sitting sideways on the track. Caution back out. Matt Rogers goes around. We'll see exactly what happened to him right here. He is that blue and white there on the right side of your screen. Goes down the corner. A little bit of bumper cars in front of him. And, yeah, again, Tyler Gibbons at the end of it. It goes around. That's really not Tyler's fault. He was just at the back end of the line. What you're going to watch right here is there's some checkup right in front of him. Daniel Holcroft looks like he checked up just a little bit, just trying to get into the corner. And when he did, it just bumper cars after. So Matt Rogers be on the tail end of the lead lap as the pace car did block him in, so he won't be able to go down pit road for any kind of service this time if he plans on staying on the lead lap. So he'll have to take the wave around, and then we'll get back, hopefully green flag racing, and get a few laps under our belt. That's a good time to talk about our sponsor, Apex Sim Racing. You got something you want to add to your sim racing rig. Maybe you don't even know that you want to add something. You know, that's the beauty of some of these online shops. You don't know. You kind of like you go to Harbor Freight. You don't know you needed. You don't know you needed that angle grinder. You know, I didn't know I needed that. I didn't know I needed a really small air compressor so I can pump up my tires. You know, I didn't know I needed that until I went to Harbor Freight. Well, go to apexsimracing.com. Maybe there's something there that you didn't even know you needed, and you can kind of beef up that sim rig. They do a lot of good stuff. They give out a button box every season. Definitely appreciate Jimmy over there. Matt Rogers will take the wave around. Next time by. Nobody really coming down pit road. We see some, I think Chuck has come down and maybe taken a set of tires. It's really hard to say if he took tires or not. They got plenty. So if he spun out and wants to get a fresh set, he probably could do that. So he might have come down and got those fresh tires. But we really haven't run enough laps for that to matter. Probably just for his own security. And we've seen some folks come down pit road. Lucas Lyon had come down at some point for nothing. I think he was on pit road for 0.4 seconds, maybe just to check damage. Brendan Wallace down for 6. Filling up with fuel a little bit. Chris McLean came down along with Tony Edgerton. Probably just a little bit of damage fixed from that first wreck that we saw on the track. So, getting ready to go green here. Luckily, this race is only 150 laps, so we'll eventually get to the end of it, whether it be green or yellow flag racing. We'll definitely get there. All right, here we go. Back racing is Jesse. Has got a dadgum massive lead here. Charles Stevens. Oh, man, they get all jumbled up at the start. I don't know what. I think the 84 really kind of botched that restart. He's going to go up the track. I mean, the wheel's just falling off for Charles Stevens. He comes back up onto the track. Now he's going to be 3 wide as he's just trying to get it all wrapped up. But the 84 with a terrible restart. I don't know what he had going on there, but something did not go right for him as he was really far back and then kind of scooted up and now he's locking it up. I don't know what's going on with Charles. But it is not going great for him up front, though. Daniel Cunningham down to the inside of the 13 of Garrett Kinder as Jesse Whittington, being out front, has been able to sort of enjoy not having to really do anything at this point, as it has been impossible to have any racing at the moment. So Charles Stevens goes from 2nd all the way back to 9th after that rough start there. Daniel Cunningham able to get around Kinder, and Kinder just stuck up on the outside. He's thankful to get back down to the inside and can try to push forward. Jonathan Cofield's up 3 spots from where he started, your points leader. No surprise there as he's been able to move his way up through the field. Kip Easley also on the move there in 8th position. On board Kip here as he's trying to run down the 17 of Aaron Adcock. Kip has, 9 spots from where he started. Josh Lukovitz as well. Just taking advantage of these guys who have had issues. They really haven't made all these passes. Oh, man, we got somebody going around again. And it looks like Alan Smith goes around. Take a look at your Kinder Farm Ranch Wreckage Rewind. See what happened to him. 27 looking down to the inside. gets up out of the groove, and when he does, he goes around, and oh, man, big shot. Johnny gets in the back of Tracy Passage. I believe that's who that was. And, you know, that's something that you'll see a lot here tonight is when you get up out of that groove, you go right down to the bottom, you go up here, get too far out, you stick that right rear out, and then you try to gas it up at the same spot that you would if you're on the bottom. It just doesn't work like that. And that's what Allen, he's right here on the bottom on this corner. And when you give it gas, that right rear is still in that groove where that dark stuff is, where guys are laying down rubber. But when you miss the bottom and you stick that right rear out here in that clean stuff, it just grips up, and when it does, you just come right on around. So you have to be careful when you get up out of the groove. That's exactly what happens. Luckily, he didn't have that much damage. Really, the damage is going to come from, I think it was Johnny Cofield. Watch on board with him as he couldn't really see it. I mean, to be fair, I'm not definitely not going to say it's Cofield did anything wrong here, but he's not going to be able to see what happened. Watch it right here. This next corner coming off this corner is where it's going to happen. And you'll see that he can see the 27, but he can't see what's going on with the 3. He doesn't know until right then. I mean, it's just reaction time, very difficult. So you're going to give him a little bump. All right, back to green flag racing. Looks like admins are shortening the caution. I think that's a smart move. And so we're going to go back racing here now. Jonathan Cofield down on the inside here. And Cofield's going to take over second spot. It's going to eye that 94 machine. It's so difficult when you haven't had the opportunity to have some green flag racing. It's so difficult to kind of get into a rhythm. As teammates Josh Lokovitz and Charles Stevens bounce off of each other there. But now we're maybe getting a little green flag run. Let's go on board with Cofield as he tries to run down Whittington. Getting off the gas pretty early, rolling the center. Oh, and both of them get a little bit loose. He smells. Oh man. Love to see that as both of them kind of got a little out of shape. I think Cofield was excited about that opportunity, but just wasn't able to do anything with it. Man, this is why we love short track racing, because Whittington right around the bottom, there's nowhere for Cofield to go if he can't get the run off the corner and get position. And you see, if Whittington can just, slow up in the center, make Cofield have to check up. As he rolls through the middle as well, Whittington will be able to get the better run off the corner. So this is why it's so difficult to race at a track like this. And, oh, man, Whittington got to get out of shape. And he gets loose on entry. And Cofield, that's what you wait for right there, that mistake. And that's exactly what happened. So Cofield takes over the top spot, and he'll take control of the race. Back here, it is a hornet's nest. Charles Stevens was once second. Now caution is back out. It looks like Tony Edgerton. And the number 77 is slow on the track. I don't know if he's going to be able to get it back going. He does. Looks like he's got some engine damage. Let's see if we can go back and see what happened to him. Yeah, just gets out of the groove again. That's exactly what happened to Allen there. You can't drive up there. It's just not going to work. Go on board with him and see what it looked like. So you just enter in high, and like I said, those right sides get up there outside of that little groove. He ran that a couple times. You're going to see this time, though, you give it just a little bit too much gas. Yeah, and it just comes right around. Didn't even give a chance to give it gas before it started to lose grip there. So talking about in chat how Barney's elbow is going to be a little bit out of whack. I think you're absolutely right. I mean, the poor Barney here is going to need Tommy John surgery before the race is over with. And you can see he's holding that yellow flag up. I mean, it's got to be tired. Put it down, Barney. You ain't got to hold it the whole time. Good grief. My man must get bonuses for flag up time. Well, a little bit of strategy here. Looks like a lot of folks electing to come down pit road. Jesse Whittington going to stay out on track, 40-lap old tires. And you can see he was already kind of struggling a little bit with it. So not really sure if he expected folks to come down pit road or not, but he's out there on the oldest tires. Lucas Lyon's got 11 laps on his tires, and he'll be in second. So he kind of jumped up, got a nice little strategy call out of Lucas that's going to net him a ton of positions and outside of the front row starting position. Now, Cofield does come down, get 4 tires, and he will come out in third, so he's in a really good spot behind the leader. All right, so far 5 cautions in 44 laps. You do the math, that's bad. All right, but getting ready to go green here. This should be interesting as we've got different tire strategies. Kind of want to see how this is gonna play out here. Into the restart zone, and green flag back out here on lap 45. Lucas going to try to make it work on the outside and just overdrives it, and we stay green. Is he going to? Nope, caution does come out. Yeah, Lucas there on those older tires, even though they only have 11 laps, you kind of see it coming as it just tries to overdrive the outside. The outside's just not working at the moment, and we're seeing that over and over again. Of course, it's easy for us to say it on the broadcast, but going down into turn 1, he's trying to hold the position, tried to, get it to where maybe he can get down to the bottom. And unfortunately, you get up in that stuff, it does not like it. We'll watch it from on board of Lucas here. And what he's trying to do is just either find a bottom line, find a gap to get back down through there by running high, getting, or just trying to make it work on the outside. I mean, he really overdrives the entry there. You can see the difference of braking points. And, yeah, I mean, just cooked it on entry. And that outside just does not have the grip that you need. And you can see that dark stuff on the track as they go down. You can look right here. Look on the track here in that concrete. That dark stuff right around the bottom and about half a lane up from that is where the grip will be. If you get outside of that, it's just like ice. If the trucks are already on edge because they're set up to go around to make left turns, so they're set up that way. And if that truck's already trying to spin out because it's trying to go left really fast, and you get out of the groove, get in a weird spot, the truck just will easily come around. So a messy race so far, but you come into it with Martinsville with the expectation that that's the way it's going to be. I said this earlier. I don't know if I've already said it on the broadcast, but I've seen a lot of Martinsville races. And unfortunately, I have not seen any good ones. I don't think I've ever seen a good Martinsville race on iRacing. I'm sure there have been, but the ones that I broadcasted have always just been caution after caution. It's a tough track, man. It's really tough, and it just seems like these slow corners, the truck has little to no grip versus what you see out of the real world counterparts. All right, getting ready to go green. Whittington with control of the restart. Cofield going to be on the outside this time. And the outside line does not get going as Garrett Kinder's going to have, oh my goodness. And Cofield tried to sneak it down in there and cut off the 13, but not quite going to work. As Kinder going to have control of that inside line. Cofield doing a good job of staying on the outside, but we haven't seen the outside be good. You see Charles Stevens there working his way back up into the picture and overdrives the corner and almost takes out Daniel Cunningham. I mean, these guys are driving wilder than I've ever seen. This is unbelievable. And caution back out. As Johnny Cofield goes around, looks like see Cofield here on the outside with the 3 of Allen Smith on the inside and comes off the corner, makes a little bit of contact with the wall, stays up against the wall. We'll see what happened here is, yeah, just again, getting up out of the groove, and when he does, it just goes on around. He was even out of the concrete. So just a little self-spin, enough to bring out the caution. All right, I think we're on our 7th caution of the night after 54 laps. All right, looks like they're shortening up the caution, so we will grow green this time. Into the Geico restart zone for the 8th time. And this time, Cofield gets a pretty good jump, going to dive right down to the inside, get in front of Garrett Kinder as Tracy Passon's going to go up out of the groove again. Oh, and everybody does a fantastic job of avoiding him as, wow, he almost, and here we go, 3 wide. We'll see if this works as their bumper cars back here. Johnny Cofield pushing the 12 pushing the 3, and there goes Brandon Wallace around. This is ridiculous, y'all. Caution comes out again. I mean, man, you gotta wonder. My goodness. I mean, back here in the back, this guy's pushing each other, bumping each other when you know, guys are trying to get their stuff back together. 3 wide out in front, and they're just running into each other. I just don't understand. We're never gonna get this race in if we keep doing that. Gotta have a little patience out there. And of course, you know, I don't always put it on the guy that bumps into somebody. You know, the guy in front may be overreacting. It's hard to say, but we got to dig down deep, find some patience. I think we're never going to see any racing here tonight. And I'm going to be honest, I'm running out of stuff to talk about. Well, got nothing to talk about. But yeah, I mean, this season has been. I mean, this is not a good. It's not a good. You know, it's not a good show of it. But, you know, so far after 5 races, Cofield has really been incredible so far. Out of his 5 races, he's finished in the top 5 4 times, only 1 bad race, and he finished in the top 10. So his bad races finishing inside the top 10 on every single race at least, and 4 out of 5 were in the top 5. So it's really impressive. He has got the most bonus points with 6. And I'm gonna be honest with you. I think when they pitted was around lap 40, which I think was the stage break. For some reason, I had in my head that it was lap 70. So I'll call a deal on that one. I think the one of the cautions that was brought out, they called that one the stage. So that was at lap 40. So that's my bad. Even the broadcast is crashing and burning tonight. I like it. All right, getting ready to go green here. Jesse Whittington with the lead yet again, still on those 61-lap old tires, but don't matter because we ain't running under green. So he's going to get a good start here. Cofield's going to get another great jump. It's going to put him right in front of the 13. So they get down to the bottom, see some folks way out of the groove up there. Nope, goes around the 17. Alan Smith going, spinning down the back stretch, and caution is back out. Tyler Gibbons is backwards there. Johnny Cofield involved there a little bit. Take a look, see what happened. '17 side by side with the 53 here. We'll see where that. See Matt Rogers go up there, and of course we're not going to be able to see it because it's a horrible camera angle. We'll back it up just a little bit. And you're going to see the 17 right up here go to the inside of Matt Rogers. When he does, gets a little bit loose, actually checks up in front of Tyler Gibbons, who gives him a little bump. He gets into the 3, and the 3 goes spinning across the track, and Tony Edgerton going to get into him as he spins back across the track. So Aaron Adcock just gets a little bit loose trying to make that watch on board here. On board with Aaron Adcock here. You're going to see him try to get inside of when he does, he gets loose and saves it, but Tyler gets into the back of him. Yeah, you can just see, I mean, there's really nothing Tyler could do as Aaron was doing the best he could to try to save the thing and not spin out, and fortunately Tyler was on a heater there. All right, Cofield is now the leader as Jesse Whittington goes down and gets his 4 tires. Going to go all the way back to 18th. He kind of probably wishing he came down when everybody else did. I think he had to pit for fuel. I don't think tires are really an issue. So he comes down, he gets 4 tires, going to put him behind in the track position game, put him back there in the Hornets' nest. So Cofield now in a great position to really take control of this race. And honestly, at this point, from here on out, I don't think I would pit if the cautions keep falling like they do. Lights are out on the pace car. Cofield with control of the restart. We'll see if we can get this one going. It goes late in the box. Real late, trying to catch some guys sleeping. Now Charles Stevens will go to the inside, and after Charles kind of got up out of the groove, went all crazy, went all the way to the back, now he's back up into the 2nd position. So Charles Stevens bad fast here tonight Now he's going to look to try to take the lead away from Jonathan Cofield here. On board Garrett Kinder. Hey, you see Charles Stevens did not get off the corner like he wanted to and actually defends the inside. Try to keep Garrett Kinder from throwing it in there on entry. And I don't blame him. Honestly, I don't blame him because you know Garrett would do it. Anybody in that position would do it. And sometimes you make a mistake and, hey, let me get a breather. Let me get it wrapped back up. So let me go down and block that and don't let you get to the inside and get position on me. But I think this little battle here is going to continue on. You see two different lines out of both these drivers. As we do get a little bit of green flag racing here. I like it. Keep this up. Watch this battle for second. See if Garrett Kinder can get around him. I think Kinder's had some speed. He's had some really, oh my goodness, as he gets loose, kind of runs up the track there. But Garrett's had some speed. Just kind of really been unlucky with a little bit of lanes that he keeps getting stuck in. He keeps getting in that outside line, having to try to figure out ways to get back down to the bottom. So we'll see if he can motor his way to the front. Daniel Cunningham and Michael Kostick right behind him. They have been up in the top 5 nearly all race long as caution is back out. Daniel Holcroft sitting backwards on the track. Looks like some contact with Johnny Cofield and Holcroft there. I don't know if this is where it started, but this is where part of it was. Yeah, just grabs that curb in a little bit there. Oh, and then rolls back down in the track in front of Brandon Wallace. On board with Daniel here. Gonna see him jump that curb. We've already seen that once tonight. Oh, it looks like he gets loose before that. Yeah, and then doesn't hold his brakes and comes back down and trying to get off the track. I know what Daniel was trying to do. But yeah, I mean, honestly, he doesn't even hit the curb, really. He just loses it going into the corner. Just that brake bias a little bit maybe too low or just too much of an arc on entry. So we're under caution again as he gets that thing turned back around. Well, we get over the halfway mark. So all that we've just done, we'll do it one more time. I've seen a lot of Saturday night short track racing, and this is the way that it goes. It is a lot like this a lot of times. I mean, short tracks put guys in boxes, put them in tight quarters, small tracks like this, and then you add the fact that, you know, iRacing's tire model is just a little bit weird when you get really, really slow like this, and it turns into ice. So you got all the grip in the world at a, you know, 1.5 miler, even some bigger short tracks. You go to like Phoenix or, you know, some intermediates like New Hampshire. Everything drives really good, but you get here and Bristol is just a blast. But then you go to Martinsville and it just it's been that way forever, and it will just be like ice at some points right in the middle of the corner. Survival seems to be the big thing now. Of course, we're not seeing guys out. Anthony Edgerton, the only one that is multiple laps down, and he's pretty much out of this thing. For some reason, he had to tow, it looks like. Couldn't get back to pit road, so he couldn't get that fast repair. But so far, nobody has used a fast repair yet as we go back green. Charles Stevens gets up out of the groove again, tries to overdrive the entry. We've seen that a couple times out of these guys. And again, has the same issue. Got somebody going around. Looks like Tyler Gibbon goes around again. No caution just yet. We stay green. Battle's on for the lead, though. Garrett Kinder to the back bumper of the 58. We'll see if he can figure out a way to make a pass. All the way down to just under 70 miles an hour in the middle of the corner. So they go from about 120 down to about, as Garrett Kinder gets extremely loose right in the middle of the corner. Up the track he goes, and through goes Michael Kossing. Looks like he's going to lose another spot to Cunningham, who's going to jump on him. Somebody getting loose back there in the back. I think it might have been Aaron Adcock having some sort of issue with that number 17 machine. Somebody might have lit the tires up and be having trouble. Charles Stevens trying to claw back into this thing after he blew turn one again on the outside. Just trying too hard to make it work. That's all it is. He's trying, like, driving the wheels off of it for sure. He's definitely fast. Somebody's going around. Like Johnny Cofield goes around, and caution is going to go back out. Looks like a little self-spin out of Johnny here. Don't think he got any help. We'll see. Somebody going down to the inside. He really drives deep into the corner. And as he's coming off, he's going to just gas it up a little bit too soon. Right into the inside wall. And big damage out of that 97 machine. He's had a tough night, that's for sure. I mean, all four corners of that car is punched in. Yeah, it looks like the old the 90s Craftsman trucks. They've got the flat, square look to it. I bet he comes down and gets a little bit of fast repair as that right front tire is kind of sticking out a little bit. Might have a little bent toe. This tape is right up at the top, but I don't think it's driving very good. At least it doesn't look like it is. When he comes to a complete stop, maybe checking to make sure he had his fast repair checked. That's probably a good idea. A lot of times you'll uncheck it just to make sure you don't use it over some silly contact that didn't really hurt the car. See if he takes that fast repair. There it is. Brand new Chevy. See if he gets out before the leaders, because they're coming by right now. Brandon Wallace is also on pit road. He's going to get out. Oh, whoa, no, he's going to back up. And we'll see if he beats the stop. A lot of times the pit exit will close if the... It looks like he does beat the pace car out, so he will stay on the lead lap. So everybody but Anthony Edgerton, who's still on in his pit stall with required damage, is still on the lead lap. And Brandon Wallace is going to come back in for some more repairs, most likely. Let's take a quick commercial break and we'll be right back. Back under caution here at Martinsville in the Apex East Series Showdown. 87 laps out of 150. And it has been a caution-filled race so far. We are at 11 cautions on the night. But we're going to get ready to go back green here. We'll see if we can get any laps. But it looks like you're going to be fighting for every position that you can get on every single restart, because it may be the last time you get an opportunity. Cofield going to take the outside here, obviously, to give Caustic the inside, I guess, and really jumbles up the whole field there. I don't know what that restart's all about, but really jumbles up the whole field. If somebody goes wide, that's Tracy Passon's wide on exit, going to bounce off the wall there. Is now Daniel Cunningham kind of stuck up on the outside, is now going to get freight trained on the outside if he can't get down. But you kind of have to just wait and hope that there's an opening there, or you're really not going to have an opportunity. Going to try to maybe sneak in behind Garrett Kinder, but you know Charles Stevens is not going to let that happen. And Charles is going to try to get to the inside here. We'll see what Cunningham tries to do. A lot of times you'll see guys really get on the brake. He's going to try to get in there, and he does. What a good job by Daniel Cunningham to fill that gap and get right down to the bottom. He needed to do that quickly. He's going to defend a little bit, look down to the inside of the 13. And caution back out. Looks like Kip Easley has had some sort of issue. The 8 and the 3 of Alan Smith go around here on lap 91. Watching here is, you see the, oh man, Matt Rogers just stops in the middle. Oh, it's because Kip Easley was wrecking. Oh, Kip gets hit by Lucas Lyon. Got him spun around, and then Matt Rogers, trying to. Matt Rogers really just reacting to what he saw. He sees the wreck happen and just slams on his brake. I mean, it's tough. There's really nowhere. Yeah, and it's so tough because they're in these boxes. It's hard to criticize. You don't want to just slam on the brakes like that because the guy behind you may not know what's going on, and Daniel Holcroft definitely did not. But I do understand what Matt is trying to do. He's trying to make sure he doesn't pile into the wreck. It's really nobody's fault there. It's so difficult. But this goes back to the 48. Side by side, Kip Easley, Tracy Passons was. And we'll see exactly what transpired. Go back about a lap. Oh, Kip Easley just gets loose, and then I think if you're the 48, you just lift, I mean, Lucas does not lift at all. And I'm going to continue to be critical of folks that make silly moves at this point, as we're 12 cautions into this thing, unfortunately. And Lucas just total disregard for what was going on there. I know Kip got loose, but, I mean, just lift. That's all you got to do there, and y'all live to fight another day instead. Now there's 5 or 6 tore-up trucks. So don't know if there was something that happened before that. That's one thing we don't get to see on the broadcast. I try to be as neutral as possible, but, in that moment, it's likely that maybe Kip has bumped or moved Kip or Lucas at some point. Maybe they've had some previous contact that Lucas had some issue with, and so when Kip gets loose, Lucas not willing to cut him a break there. If that's not the case, though, I just wonder. I think if you're the 48, you just kind of back out of it, let him get it wrapped back up, and then go back after it. Trying to stuff it in there 3 wide when the guy is halfway sideways. I just don't know if there's really anything. There's not a pass to be made there. So under caution again, though. We're going to keep clicking them off. Luckily, there's a time limit on the server, and it looks like the time limit is 2 hours and 50 minutes. So we will finish this race. whether we hit the lap counter or the time limit. Cofield still with the lead, going to hold on to that top line. He chooses the top side. The leaders get to choose in this series, and he's going to get a great jump here. Side by side, good. You can see that outside line has just been struggling all night long, and you really see guys really try to overdrive it. It looks like trying to make up for the fact that the outside line is just not that strong. So they drive deep into the corner, and the truck just gets really upset. You see Josh Lokovitz in the wall here as he's got the 27 all over the back bumper of him. And here comes Charles Stevens looking down to the inside of Daniel Cunningham. He's going to throw it in there. Cunningham been trying to get down to the bottom line, not able to do it. And now here comes the 84, Charles Stevens, down to the inside. Cunningham going to try to cover it, but not quite able to do it. So now the 84 is down to the inside. Jesse Whittington there in 6th place with those tires. Been able to work his way back up through the field through all this. He was up there leading laps, decided to go down pit road. He had to go all the way to the back, and now he is working his way back up towards the front. He's going to have about 20 lap fresher tires than everyone around him. So Jesse's got all the advantage that he needs. And right now we're on a nice little green flag run. I think we've run about 4 laps, and then Josh Lokovitz is going to go around. And caution is back out. Another Kinder Farm and Ranch wreckage rewind. Let's go back and see what happened to him. Looks like he's outside of that groove yet again, and gotta wonder. Guys have been playing that game all night long. You just wonder when they're going to decide to stop going out to that outside line. It is wore out just about everybody. On board with Lokovitz here. Gets loose there, so his tires are already hot. He burns them down the front straightaway. Gonna enter in the corner. He's just loose because his tires are hot, and then he tries to gas it up, and when he does, just goes around. So treacherous out there. You can see he was heating those tires up really, really bad, and then it finally just gave away. He wasn't trying. He's probably, if he's listened to the broadcast, he probably will. Eddie, I wasn't trying to be up in that second lane. My truck got loose on entry, and I went up there and trying to just get the darn tires to get back going. They're going to come down pit road and get some tires here. I know some guys would love to have 4 fresh tires. The folks up front been out on the track for 61 laps, and honestly, the way that the track looks at the moment, we might have to turn the lights on here at Martinsville. Ratchet Biller says that if he was doing the take a shot for every caution, he would not make it to work tomorrow. Yeah, absolutely. Do not want to do that. Not in this race. 13 cautions, though. I think we had 20 cautions last season. 20, somewhere around in there. So that's the bar. So we'd love to come in under that bar here tonight, but we still have about 45 laps to go in this thing. Just over 2/3 of the race. And 13 cautions, so... If we get, hopefully we don't get 7 more cautions. That would just, that'd be awful. But we're here for it. I mean, whoever wins this race is going to be pretty thrilled and almost relieved, I'm sure. And it's the same thing. I mean, you go back and listen to the broadcast of last Martinsville, and it was the same exact thing, so I shouldn't be surprised. Yeah, I mean, we've talked about all the reasons why it's that way. And after the race, you know, everybody will go into the Discord and they'll type out paragraph after paragraph of what we need to do to make it better. And honestly, it's just take Martinsville off the schedule. Just take it off. It is just, I don't know what it is. It's just a black cloud over this place on iRacing. It's tough to have some good racing here in any league that I've been in or broadcasted, I mean, so. But there's really nothing you can do. It's just the nature of this track and obviously the way these trucks are handling. And that's why we're getting what we're getting. I mean, you see some guys being a little aggressive, some silly moves, but a lot of it's been a lot of self-spins and just getting loose. So the truck just not handling the way we need. Some premier setups in this thing, it sounds like. Getting ready to go green, though. Cofield going to have control of the restart yet again. Into the box they go. They slow up the whole field and gets a great jump. And now Jesse Whittington's going to be on the outside as Charles Stevens gets blown into Caustic and go around. And Jesse Whittington spins. Oh, my goodness. We'll have to go back and check that one out for sure. As the restart was kind of weird. It looks like maybe a little bit of some restart games going on here. And you're going to see the 08 pushing the 84. And watch here, just kind of bumper cars. And watch as they go into the corner. No, Charles Stevens just runs over the 4. And when he gets the 4, he gets the 94 as well. And they both go around. So, yeah, I thought maybe Daniel Cunningham might have just not been able to see what was going on and got into the back of the 84. But it looks like the 84 kind of cooked the corner and got into the 4. Watch it one more time. You can see the bumper cars right here. Boom, 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 as they're trying to figure out when he's going to go. And then right here, the 84 is just going to just send it into the corner. And as he gets into the 4, the 08 does make contact, but it's a little bit too late at that point. And caution comes out. So now Caustic going to go around, and Jesse Whittington going to go all the way to the back. So he'll go down and probably get another set of tires in that 94 and try again. Caustic's going to go down as well. He's in his pit stall now. And that moves Charles Stevens where all that wreck started with. He's going to come out on top and gain 2 spots. So, in chat, they're talking about Garrett Kinder went down pit road about 7 laps ago. Chris McLean, Garrett Kinder, Aaron Adcock, Alan Nash, Josh Lokovitz, Chuck Feltz all went down for tires 7 laps ago. So they're going to have fresh tires. Lucas Lyon out on 78 lap tires at the moment. He's running in 5th. And, you know, on the bright side, because this track is so small that caution laps go by pretty quickly. If this was Pocono or something like that, it would be awful. But with the track being so small, the caution flag laps click off relatively quickly. And we're only an hour 20 minutes into this race, so it's going by relatively fast, considering how many cautions we have been getting here. All right, green flag. Back out as Cofield's going to have the inside this time, and Charles Stevens going to be stuck on the outside. We'll see if he overdrives the corner. We've seen him do that a couple times. This time, though, he does a good job on the exit of turn number 2. Side by side with Cunningham as they go down in the corner. But now that bottom side really going to start to take off as caution is back out. Josh Lukovitz goes around. And Jesse Whittington, he was far back from the field. He's actually 1 lap down, so he may have gone a lap down from that pit stop, I think. So he'll be glad to see this caution. He'll be able to get a lucky dog and get back out on this thing. Let's see what happened maybe to Josh Lukovitz. Everything looks clean on the restart. And camera angle kind of screwed us there. Let's see what happened. He's got Caustic behind him. He's got the 27 on the outside. Garrett Kinder comes down and just gives him a little bit of tap on the right side. Kinder trying to, I don't know what's going on there. How did that happen? I think Kinder was just maybe trying to go down to the inside or something. And yeah, I mean, just the smallest contact that gets Lokovitz out of shape, and you can see he was trying to save it, just the truck would not cooperate. Lights out on the pace car. Cofield's going to choose the outside. Teammates 1-2, so Cofield will try to get a jump down and let Daniel Cunningham have that inside. And Charles Stevens will be right behind him. Lucas Lyon going to be outside. Lucas has the oldest tires here at 84 laps, but been doing a good job up here so far. We'll see if he can continue that. Oh, big check up on the bottom line. Johnny Cofield there. We've seen him have so much trouble. Here he is up in the top 5, but struggles there on that first turn. Oh, man. A lot of stuff going on here. As Charles Stevens going to go around. He makes contact with the 53. They save it, though. My goodness. And then the 97 just sends him into the corner, into the wall. What is that about? And then Johnny Cofield wrecks more people. Caution is out. My goodness, they're still hitting each other. Let's go back and see. Maybe we can find out what happened there on that restart. I don't think that Charles Stevens did anything to Johnny. I don't think. Here's the restart. You see everything kind of gets checked up. We'll see. Maybe this is where the contact was that upset Johnny. Johnny drives deep into the corner and jumps up out of the groove. He's going to lose a spot there. And drives up on the top side. Everything looks good here. Then hits Kip easily as Charles is kind of getting, and then just I'm not even going to say anything. Just let this all speak for itself. See Charles Stevens get loose there, make a little bit of contact, get it wrapped up, though. I don't know. Just 30 more laps and we get out of here. It's like Jesse Whittington was involved about 8 laps ago. I don't know what he was involved with. Seemed to have missed that. Michael Kostick as well has called it quits. Well, I mean, so far, even Bristol with all of the setup issues where the truck just wouldn't drive, is still a lot cleaner than this. I mean, we've seen some really weird driving here tonight out of some folks. And that last one was definitely pretty odd. And like I said, I hate to be too critical, but at this point, we're above being kind of nice. That's just a little bit ridiculous, I think. So, I don't know. We're going to go green, though. As here comes Lucas Lyons down to the inside to take over second spot. The 08, I think, wanted to let him go and get down to the bottom. So 1, 2, 3 Bandits hold the top 3 spots. And Tracy Passons, Daniel Holcroft, and Chris McLean battling for that 5th position. Lane gets a little bit loose there. We'll see if Holcroft is going to try to take advantage. He's not close enough. Checking here on Kip Easley. Following Daniel Holcroft. They are running 6th, 7th, and 8th with Garrett Kinder right behind them. Battle for teammates Aaron Adcock and Alan Nash. And just 25 laps to go. Actually 24 laps to go now. Oh, Kip Easley going to get loose here. He saves it, though. What a great save. Oh, and then just gets run over. Ain't nobody lifting for nothing. They're like, all right, I'm tired of it. Just going to gas right through it. If you get loose, I'm just going to run you over. Oh, and 5, and Chris McLean goes around. The number 5 goes around. He had worked his way up in the top 5, and now he is back to the 17th position. Let's go back another Kinder Farm and Ranch Records rewind. He was in the wall there, like he was running by himself. We'll see what happened. Maybe gassed it up a little bit here. Entering in a little bit too high when he does that. Just truck goes around. All righty, well, caution 17, and now the game is not about the race. Not about the race, but can we beat last season's 20-something cautions? We're at 17 right now. We got 18, 19. You got 3 more cautions to beat the record, and I think that's the race. You know, if you're going to bet on something right now, don't bet on the winner here for this race. Bet on the cautions. Can we beat 20 cautions? We just need to have just 2 more. If we can stay under that, that'll be an improvement, and that's what I'm hoping for. We can stay under 20 cautions. That's the goal here tonight. We're at 17 at the moment. That gives us 2 more. Can we do it? I cannot wait to see how that's going to play out here on this one. Should get the 1 to go here. We'll see. We do not. All right, chat. This is the bet. We still do have, I think, a couple of green, white checkers, maybe 3. So right now at 17 cautions, can we get under 20? We need to end the race at 19. Can we do it? We're going to find out here. Jonathan Cofield on the outside. Lucas Lyon on the inside, getting ready to go green. Just 18 more laps to go in this race. Through the restart zone, and they're wrecking already. Big wreck. Garrett Kinder goes around. Daniel Holcroft, Alan Smith, Kip Easley goes around. Charles Stevens Jr. again goes around. We'll go back another Kinder Farm and Ranch Wreckage rewind and go see what happened here. Watch the 13 on the outside. We'll see. Maybe this is where it started because he was one of them that went around. So watch the 13 there, third on the top line. You can see just some weird. Oh, Daniel Holcroft spins his tires. Daniel Holcroft spins his tires on the restart, and he's going to spin it right into Garrett Kinder. Watch on board with Daniel here. Trying to get a good restart here down on the bottom. Yeah, when he, my goodness, just gets into the, I think he was in first or second. I don't know which one. I think he shifted from first to second. And when he does, he just gets loose and just spins it right into the 13. Kevin Kinder said, Eddie, is there a truck that hasn't been in a wreck? I don't think so. I mean, Cofield's truck looks pretty clean, but for some reason, I have a hard time believing he hasn't been involved in either getting some contact or not. He's been up front for quite a while. I thought Jesse Whittington was going to avoid majority of it, but he wasn't able to. So, the only person that I'm really aware of that hasn't, been involved in anything is maybe Daniel Cunningham and Jonathan Cofield. I've seen pretty much everybody else be involved some way, somehow, in this race. I'm just looking through the list. I can't see anybody that hasn't been involved in something at some point. I think Cofield may be the only one. And that's because he spent a majority of his time out front. It's the best place to be. So him getting up to the front was about the best thing that could happen. He did that pretty quickly, and so he's got the cleanest looking truck on the track for sure. This is a lot like, it's a beautiful disaster. I can't look away. I mean, I'm glued to the screen just to see what's going to happen next. It just really hasn't been any racing here tonight. We haven't seen anybody really, just haven't had a chance. We've had a lot of laps under caution. I don't have a way of tracking that, but it's been quite a few. I would dare to say we've had majority of the race under caution than green flag laps. So, it's really hard to say who's fast, who's not. Cofield looks to be fast, but I really don't know. I don't have a good barometer. And I think at this point, I don't think it's going to get any better. I think we're going to continue to see bumper cars all the way to the end. But can we get just one more caution? That's what we're looking to see. That is the bet at the moment. Cofield's got control of the restart again. He's definitely been able to get away, and he goes late in the box and gets a great jump because of it. Lucas Lyon going to drive deep into the corner as everybody else follows along, and so far so good as we watch this lead battle start to pick up. See if Lucas Lyon on 107 lap old tires, can he do anything with it? And the wreck's already happening back there. No caution, and caution is out. Matt Rogers turned around, and I can't see. It looks like it might have started with Johnny Cofield is where the first initial contact happened. We'll go back and see if maybe find out what exactly happened there. On this restart here, and you see Johnny Cofield in that 97. A little bit of contact on that restart. Everybody checking up, doing a good job. Going down into a little bit of contact there, and Johnny's going to just dive it down in the corners. Guess he didn't like that the 5 made a little bit of contact with him and decided to clean him out. That's the second person tonight that Johnny Cofield has just wiped out on the track. So Johnny not having a good night and taking out his frustrations out on the track. Well, there we are at 19 cautions. This is where we got to stop it. One more caution, and I think we lose the bet. All right, getting ready to go green. Lap 144 coming to 145. Just 5 laps to go here in this race. Green flag is back out. A big battle here for second and third as Tracy Parsons look to make it 3 wide. A little bit of contact back there as they go wide. That's Josh Lokovitz. Aaron Adcock on the outside. "13 gives the bumper to the 97. He goes down to the inside. We stay green, though, as Cofield continues to lead this thing with just 4 laps to go. Last time by, Cofield was about a half a tenth faster. This time, Lucas was able to match him. Can Lucas do anything with it? Lucas on 116 lap old tires. Jonathan Cofield on 106 lap old tires. You can see tires not making much of a difference. 2 laps to go. Can we get the white flag? Cofield just begging that we see that white flag. And caution is out. Caution is out as he was coming to take the white flag. Caution is back out. We'll see exactly what happened here. And a little bit of frustration going on with those 2 drivers, Johnny Cofield and Chris McLean. And that looks to be where the caution came from. Just that little bit of action there where they got sideways. They did get it back going, but caution does fly. And it looked like Johnny knew it was coming. You could see he just overdrives the corner because he knew the 5 was coming for him. And the 97 just plows up into the wall, and the 5 does too, so. Tempers obviously flaring, but I tell you, we got 2 green-white checkers. I know Cofield did not want to see that. I think the whole field didn't want to see that right there. The lights are on the pace car. You see they got headlights as the sun's going down now. And so we'll have 2 green-white checkered attempts. So we'll have an opportunity to get the white flag. If we get it, the race is over no matter what. Really, nobody has been able to challenge Cofield up at the front. I don't expect to see that change. He's really been good on those the restart in the box itself of really not letting anybody get a run on him and try to get – I mean, once you get down under 10, 15, 20 laps to go, you don't count your teammates down. You're not telling them when you're going because you're racing them at this point. And so it's just about trying to catch them at at a bad spot and trying to go where you get the best launch so they can't get to your bumper or get beside you. All right, here we go. First green, white, checkered. If we get to the end, it's over. Get to the white flag. If not, we'll do it one more time. Little bumper cars going on here. And green flag is out. Cofield does not get the best of jumps, but enough that he has got the lead at the moment. Tracy Parsons trying to find a gap here as Lucas on those old tires. Tracy going to give Lucas a bump. Another shove. Down. White flag is out, though. We will see the end of this race. Tracy Parsons on those tires, and Tracy's going to go around a big wreck back behind him, but here's the race for the win. And coming off the corner, it is Jonathan Cofield will win, and coming home in second is Lucas Lyon. As those drivers just alt F4, they've had enough. And we go around, and we finally finished as there was a massive wreck behind, and tempers flaring, and everybody's frustrated, and it makes perfect sense. All right, let's get through this post-race, this Po-Man Motorsports post-race show, and then we'll get out of here and move on to next week. We'll get this one out of our memory and move on to the next one. Cofield takes home the victory. Lucas Lyon in second. Daniel Cunningham in third. Alan Nash in the fourth position. Brandon Wallace comes home in fifth. Garrett Kinder in sixth. Darren Adcock in seventh. Daniel Holcroft in eighth. Alan Smith with a top 10 in ninth. Charles Stevens in 10th. Eleventh going to be Chuck Phelps. Tracy Passon's in 12th. Josh Lokovitz in 13th. 14th, Tyler Gibbon. Kip Easley in 15th. 16th going to be Matt Rogers. Johnny Cofield in, I don't know, my results are kind of all over the place, so take these with a grain of salt. Seems like there was some issues with cars not getting across the start-finish line, so we don't really know exactly where everybody's going to be scored. So this is the best guess. Looks like Johnny Cofield's going to be 17th. Chris McClain going to be 18th. Michael Gossick 19th. Jesse Whittington 20th. And Tony Edgerton in the final spot. All right, let's go ahead and get these interviews out of the way, and then we'll get you out of here. That was a tough one, but thank y'all if y'all were watching to stick it out. And we'll go ahead and get our race winner up into chat. Cofield, man, what a race. You know, I don't know if it was a good race or bad race, but a race that you won, and that's always a good race. You're able to get out front and kind of control those last 100 restarts and come away with the victory. I mean, is there much to say out there? It just seemed like there was not that much racing, a lot of pacing. Hard to really say what your car was like, but talk a little bit about that race.
It was just horrible, really. Track position mattered. It was everything. Yeah, caution field. Just a lot of guys not knowing where people break. A lot of tempers going on out there. I don't know, and we still got to run this again. I don't know why leagues put this in the schedule, because it never works out on iRacing, even in officials. I mean, it's always just a wreck fest. So, but you know, they follow the real race schedule, and you know, I'm happy to be here. I ain't trying to down them or anything. I'm just saying, you know, Martinsville on iRacing, you know, is usually just a crapshoot.
Yeah, and you just hope that one day it turns out good. So you kind of throw it in there every once in a while. Hope that hey, maybe it's going to be good this time. But I agree. It turns usually has always been pretty rough. And tonight was no different. I think we clocked in right at 20 cautions. So we were trying to get under 20 on the broadcast. There was a bet, and we lost it. There at the end, I mean, you had control of the restarts. You really, I don't know. I don't think you ever really felt like you were in danger as long as you're the control car on that each restart. You were able to be out front, never lost the lead. Even on that late race caution, I have to feel like you pretty well felt pretty confident, especially with the drivers that were behind you there on that green white checker.
Yeah, definitely had all my teammates behind me. When a couple of guys got up in the top five, you know, we played some team games. You know, I'd start high and let guy on the bottom clear or something like that. You know, just trying to have fun. But yeah, I wasn't really worried about who was behind me. You know, a lot of good drivers in here. Just I don't know if tempers from past stuff or I don't know, man. It's just a lot of broken hearts in it. Yeah, a lot of broken hearts in here tonight.
Yeah, just a bad night, and it just happens every once in a while. You put a bunch of guys in a box, that's what's going to happen. Well, man, congratulations on the win. I won't keep you too long. I know it's been a long, grueling race, so but congratulations on the win. You were able to pick up a lot of spots and get up there and stay up front, and that seemed to be the best place. I think you're the only driver that didn't have multiple contact throughout the whole race. So great run out of you. Win number 3 on the season. You're going to extend that lead. You had about a 53-point lead over second place going into this race, and that's only going to extend out. So congratulations on that. Congratulations on the win. And as always, man, who you got to thank?
Well, thank you for having to go through all that. But yeah, just everybody in the league, Aaron Adcock, Tracy Passions, Chuck, just everybody, Kinder. I think Kinder Farm and Ranch is sponsoring Cofield Asphalt Refinishing, Cofield Fine Service, all my teammates at Bandit, just everybody in this league that lets us come out here and have fun on Thursday night. Let's come in here next week and have a better show.
There you go. Well, there you have it. Your winner, Jonathan Cofield, takes the victory here tonight. And a guy that went through it tonight, but on 123 lap old tires, comes away with second place. And dadgummit, if it didn't look fast there at the end, Lucas, you had an up and down race. Very frustrating, obviously, as for some reason, I think it's because you quit out. Your name's not going to show up, so I apologize about that. But entertaining race, and it was definitely seemed like it was really frustrating out there. What was it like trying to maneuver your way to the front?
I mean, I think he said it best. It was honestly really frustrating. I think I accidentally got in the kit. I thought he was going to go to the inside wall. So I just kind of stayed in it, and he saved it. And once he saved it, tried to stop, but I just didn't have time to react to it. Yeah, I started in pit lane because I was like, I feel like there's going to be a wreck on lap 1. And it wasn't lap 1, but there was a caution pretty early, and I'm like, all right, cool. And then took tires before the stage. And then, of course, on that stage restart, I decided to send it a little bit too hard, put my right sides on the asphalt, and decided to spin out.
Well, you weren't the only one. I mean, you could take solace in that a lot of people tried it, and it just wasn't working tonight. It was such a weird thing. But, yeah, I saw that, and you weren't the only one. There's about 4 or 5 others that tried the same thing and had the same exact thing happening. So,
hey, if I'm not the only one, I'm happy.
There we go.
I'll take that. I'll take that bet. But once I started getting closer and closer to the top 5, I was like, I might be able to do this. Just hopefully I don't get a New Hampshire flashback and accidentally wreck my T-motor again.
Well, you came away with a second place. You looked pretty strong there at the end, even with older tires. There was nothing you could do. You just didn't have enough time to mount any kind of charge on Cofield. Cofield was going to be strong all the way to the end. I would like to say, what would you have done? But I already know. You really didn't have a chance to do anything. But what a great recovery after a couple of those incidents, being kind of mired in the back and just able to avoid all that and come away with a second place finish. So congratulations on that. We'll get you out of here. But who you got to thank?
Real quick, if I was close enough, if on that last lap on the white flag, I might have tried to pull a Chastain. I know they nerfed it, but if I'm next to him on exit, I might be able to get there. I'm not sure. But I want to thank Top Tier. I want to thank Cofield Asphalt Refinishing. I want to thank Scotty Oliver Racing, Fungus for watching, Scotty for watching, Southeast Tutoring, Honor Home Loans, SM Racing Products. If you use code Lucas Lyons at checkout, you can save 50% off. Helps you save a little bit of money, helps them get their name out, and it helps me. I want to thank all my teammates at Bandits. I want to thank Cofield, Mark, Tyler, Daniel. Also Daniel for not wrecking me on that last lap, because me and him been racing the absolute crap out of each other here recently, and it's honestly a lot of fun racing with Daniel. And Mike, I know an incident happened with another driver, and he was pretty frustrated about it, and it sucks because yeah. I want to thank you for putting this on. I want to thank Pullman, all the sponsors over here, and yeah.
All right. Well, there you have it. Lucas Lyon come home in second place, and we'll jump right into third. And that was Daniel Cunningham. And Daniel, we talked a little bit earlier today about, we do this to have fun and to not get frustrated. And tell me, did we put that to the test tonight?
I can't speak for everybody else, but it surely got tested for me, because that was not fun in the slightest. Yeah, I love Martinsville. I mean, if you get some people that race it and race it clean, it can be one of the most fun short tracks out there. But I don't know, it just seems like in the stock car stuff, it usually turns into a dumpster fire like what tonight was. I mean, it definitely gets frustrating when you've only got a couple of green flag laps, caution. And I'm sure it ain't any fun for you up in the booth either, having to try to fill all that time. So, when we come back here in the fall, maybe you need to have some pre-race or some in-race interviews with us, pull us up and ask us about like our favorite superhero or something to try to fill some gap.
Yeah, and well, we saw there was a lot of tempers flaring. There was a lot of accidents and stuff, contact that was made, unnecessary contact too. But a lot of it was single car spins, guys getting up out of the groove. Did you deal with that at all? I saw if you put those right side tires either in the asphalt in the corners or even right above where the dark area was on the track. It seemed that the truck just seemed to lose all grip. Is that something you felt? How would you deal with that? How did you kind of make all that work?
What I kind of noticed in practice and what I've noticed running here in the trucks, specifically the trucks and other series, is when everybody goes out and practices and they set their brake biases and they set all of that stuff, they set it in anticipation of running the bottom. And you can't really do that unless you're fast enough to start on pole and run up front all night long. You're going to have to start. I mean, even then, you're probably going to have to start on the top side at some point. And it just seemed like for me, when I was in practice, if I turned the brake bias down, it would feel fine when I was on the bottom, but if I had to drive it in on the top hard enough to be able to maintain position to try to battle with someone, getting on the brakes that hard with the bias that low where there's already less grip, it just loops around way too easy. So I mean, I was running mine substantially higher than I think even anybody else in Bandits was tonight. So I mean, as far as like when I got up on the top side, I feel like that helped a lot with just being able to drive it in deeper and not wash up the track and not have it just do those lazy spins or anything.
Yeah, no, it seemed like a lot of folks struggled with that. There at the end though, you had a couple pretty good restarts. You were battling there with all your teammates, but Cofield, just with that being the control vehicle on each restart, just has so much power. And then as you get down to the end, there's no real like, hey, I'm going at this time. He's not going to tell you that. So it was really tough to kind of get a good jump there on those final few restarts. Were you able to try to do anything? What was it like on those restarts? Try to make a bid for the win.
Yeah, I mean, we definitely did have the teammate restarts early on, like you saw, just trying to get things sorted out and hopefully keep all of us up near the front. But yeah, once you get down to a certain point, he's got to look out for himself, and I don't blame him. I'd do the exact same thing. I'll help you out until we get to a certain point, and then it's like, we got to battle for the win here. So really my biggest thing once we got down to those last few restarts, honestly, I didn't care about the difference between second or third at that point. Cofield was just, I mean, blazing fast all night long. I don't think it would have mattered if I could have got the second. I didn't have nothing for him. Truth be told, I think Lucas probably had a better shot at him for the win if we could have got some green flag laps in there. So my biggest thing was I just didn't want to screw up and punt one of my teammates going into one and cost a teammate a good finish. So, I mean, we got all three of us up here on the podium. That was the biggest thing, getting as many of us up here in the top 3, top 5 as we could. So got that took care of.
Well, y'all did a great job, especially there at the end. Congratulations on third place finish. But tell me who you got to thank here tonight.
Yeah, appreciate you doing the broadcast as always. All my teammates over at Bandits Motorsports and Banfield Pet Hospital, got them back on the truck. And I hope Chuck Feltz is happy with me now. I didn't do it just for him, but if I said that it wasn't influenced in my decision of bringing that truck back out and putting the fur balls on there for him, I'd be lying. So I hope he enjoyed seeing that one back out on the track tonight.
Yeah, 10-4. Well, all right, well, there you have it. Daniel Cunningham, third place finisher here tonight. And that's going to do it for us here at Martinsville. Well, we came into it and knowing how tough it was going to be, and boy, it sure did turn out that way. But I want to thank Apex Sim Racing Products for their sponsorship of this series. And I'm Eddie Smith with VSRN. We'll see you next week as we take on what I believe is Texas. We'll take a look at the schedule real quick. And you see Texas, 120 laps, then Kansas, Darlington, North Wilkesboro, Charlotte. That is a good next little bit of the good run of track. So we got the poop out of the way with Coda Martinsville. Now we're going to go into some fun racing. So just a little speed bump on the way to a championship here in Apex, and you know, we'll loop passes. You know, you gotta say, we knew going in how it was going to be, and it did not disappoint. It was exactly like we thought it was going to be, and that's it. We move on. We put it behind us, and we move on to Texas, and we continue to have good racing like we have all season long. So, all right, guys, we'll see y'all next time. Y'all have a good night.